How's everybody doing out there tonight? Let me find some mute buttons.
Yes. Welcome, everyone.
Let's see, is that better? Not just yet.
Carlos has a little YouTube in the background, so he's going to be kicking off the net here in a few. He's seeing if he can hear me. Welcome to Wednesday. People are joining us there in the chat. As always, as we get through this, I'm looking up at Carlos, looking at his facial expression to see if he's got it muted or not. I see him laughing. We'll be opening this up a little bit later for everyone to come join us in Zoom. Tonight's a kind of a conversation keyed toward newer hams and older hams. Maybe get you thinking about a few different things.
Give me just a second there.
Well, that's not a problem. I can keep talking. Let's see, who do we got in the chat? Feel free to throw your call sign there. I think at some point we do look into the chat and we throw that into the log. I have the log up there on the screen.
Okay, let's see. Any better?
There's a little bit of an echo, but go for it. We'll see what we can do.
Alrighty, that should be better. Somebody else check your audio, because it's not me. Alright, Whiskey 6, CRP, test. There it is. Yeah, I closed all my apps, so shouldn't be me.
I think it was me.
Okay. Alright, Whiskey 6, CRP. I'm going to be tonight's coordinator for the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net. As always, we thank the Baca Valley Radio Club and the owners of the W6 VBR repeater for letting us use this repeater for the Anti-Net weekly. If there's any priority traffic during this net or Anti-Net, just let us know. We'll clear the frequency. Is there any priority traffic at this time? Alright, hearing none. 2 Meter Crew, we're not an actual club. We're just a handful of hams that enjoy the hobby, all things ham related. And we put on once a week Anti-Net, kind of to continue to learn and meet folks and keep the hobby alive. There's no dues or fees to be a 2 Meter Crew member. For more info, there's several ways you can get a hold of us. We are the number 2 metercrew.com. There's a website. Or you can visit the Facebook site, which is the number 2 MC. And this is always an open net, so everybody's welcome to join and go ahead and check in and give us your thoughts. That's what keeps us going. The Anti-Net meets every Wednesday at 7 here on the W6 BBR repeater, which is 145.470 with a negative offset of 600 kilohertz and a PL tone of 127.3. A couple other ways you can access this are by EchoLink at WG5EEK, or the AllStar node is 51094. And there's a DMR talk group, 314-9964. The Anti-Net is also live streamed on a YouTube channel, which is Ham Radio TV. If you go there, you can pick us up live, and then those other access numbers and access codes are all streaming there constantly, so you can check there and pick it up. And W6CRP. So going to take check-ins tonight. Our topic is going to be radio antenna. Now what? So, get your radio, get your antenna set up in your shack. What are those other pieces you all use in the shack or work with? We'll kind of bring out some of the other equipment that you use, or it could be a website, it can be a piece of hard equipment, software, whatever you're using in your shack. You can share that when you check in and see if we can't have a little discussion about that. Website updates, not a lot of activity on the 2metercrew.com, but I was on there the other day looking up some antenna info. So there's a lot of files, a lot of information, websites, good place to go. That's kind of where we keep a lot of the hard data like that, so we can access it and reference material. The 2MC Facebook site, let's see, who's been on that Facebook site lately for an update? Nick, KN6DAL?
Yeah, hey Carlos and everybody, KN6DAL here, Nick and Everett. 2 Meter Crew Facebook, last week we broke over the 200 mark. We're at 210 members, and lots of cool stuff on there, so feel free to jump in. And when you request to join, there's only 2 questions. Some people have a hard time with that. 2 questions. We just want to know your zip code and your call sign, so we can verify that you're a ham radio operator. And if you're not, that's not a problem. Just maybe put that you want to be one, or something like that. So that's all I got for that. KN6.
All right, thank you, Nick. How about any Dxing reports? Anybody been out for some long-distance simplex or other sodas or POTAs? I know folks are getting out and about a little bit now. So anybody have anything to share or report on?
KN6DAL here again. I did a soda activation on Sunday. I went to Guaymas Island, which is Soda Peak W7W. I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. I think it's SK177, and that was about a mile and a half hike up, mile and a half hike down. Not a whole lot of elevation gain. I think it was like 1,200 feet, but the views are amazing. It's in the San Juan Islands, and I contacts to activate the peak, and the whole family went with me, so that was a lot of fun. And I've got a couple of plans for the future, just set in stone yet. Up here in the northern realm of the 2 Meter Crew, there's quite a bit of hiking activity and simplex activity, and just enjoying it while the sun shines down on us, because I imagine it'll slow down once the rain picks up, and the Northwest is known for the rain.
Yeah, sounds good, Nick. We've been, there's been a lot of folks actually hiking up for activating peaks and getting out to the parks. Starting to open up a little bit. We've been a little off our game with the shelter in place and all the COVID-19 restrictions, but anybody else have anything planned, getting out there to activate or heading to a park or just out with a mobile unit setting up?
Whiskey 4 Mike Alpha Foxtrot in Richmond, Virginia. Got a story to share.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, hey gang, W4MAF in Richmond, Virginia. Activated my first 2, made my first 2 soda activations, I should say. One really interesting near the West Virginia quiet zone, the RF quiet zone, on what's known as Reddish Knob. That was about 3 weeks ago, not too far from Flagpole Knob as well. And actually go camping there on August 10th. So I'm going to be doing HF August 10th and 11th. I'll be doing HF and 2-meter simplex, as long as I get the okay. You got to coordinate when you're in the quiet zone with the folks at the Green Bank Observatory. It's one of the only places in the country for 50 square miles where you're not permitted to have any RF. So it's always good if you coordinate with them. And other than that, I got sent up to do some work with a TV station on Saturday in Charlottesville, Virginia. And it was one of those hurry up and wait situations, so I activated there because that's another soda activation. Heading over to Lima, Ohio this weekend. Going to do parks on the air. Don't know which of the 2 parks I'm going to choose, but that's about it for me. I'm having fun with soda. This is W4MAF in Richmond, 73, everyone.
Thanks for the update, and that's good. Hear folks getting out there and doing it. I keep swearing that's what I'm going to get into is parks on the air. Working from home now, you would think I have more time to get out and do some of this stuff, but it just seems like I don't, man. I'm busier than ever trying to get it done here from the homestead. W6CRP. Anybody else have any Dxing or radio type stuff to report out on?
This is KN6VNQ with an announcement when appropriate.
Yeah, Brian, go ahead.
Alrighty. Well, I had put it out on the 2-Meter Crew Facebook page. I put it out on the 2-Meter Crew Discord. I just had yet to put it out on an actual net that there's a collected group of us located here in Woodland, 16 miles northwest of Sacramento. And we are starting up a brand new 10-meter net. Yes, 10 meters, the second magic band. So if you want the details, and if you haven't heard of it, I guess you could, I'll give you everyone a second to grab a pencil and paper.
Pencil and paper grabbing at this time.
I'm hoping everyone's fast enough. Anyway, we hold our net weekly on Tuesdays, every Tuesday, at 7 p.m. local time here in California. We are located on 28.405, 28.405 megahertz. Our net control is a gentleman by the name of Daryl, call sign Kilo Mike 6, Kilo Foxtrot Whiskey. I am the logbook keeper for the net, so I take everyone's call sign. Granted, our net control is sadly visually impaired, but that doesn't stop them. So again, we meet Tuesdays at 7 p.m. local time in California. On 28.405 megahertz, KN6VNQ.
Brian, that is awesome. I'm keeping little pieces of this hobby alive here and there and activating 10 meter up there. Pretty cool. Good to hear that. Anybody else before we start taking check-ins? Anything else to share?
GZE. I recently did a POTA.
Go ahead, come again. You did a POTA?
Parks on the air. I tried to activate K3477. On a 2-meter simplex with the little FT3 and my 2-meter antenna, and I tuned the antenna properly. I made sure that it was 1.5 to 1, and I got nobody. I was looking at the POTUS spots, and nobody was spotting me, so I spotted myself.
From the microphone a little bit. TMR, the last person that was talking, back away from your mic. You're very close and you're getting a very hard sibilance.
All right, I believe that was Ryan, if I remember right. And so you had a hard time activating, but it sounds like you were out there giving it a try, which is what counts, not keeping it going.
Yeah, definitely does. You works on the air isn't usually done on 2 meters, but it was worth a try. KN6GZE.
All right, KN6GZE. That's not easy to say there, but hey, good effort. And man, I don't know how many times I've tried this stuff and it didn't work. You just gotta keep coming back at it. But thanks for trying. Let's see. I'm gonna cycle back to our live streamer and see what we have going on. Do you have anything to share there, Jason?
There we go. Little fan noise in the background, so I just had the microphone turned down. Yes, good evening, everyone. KM6FAK. We are live on Ham Radio TV on YouTube. If you're not aware, have a nice handful of people, 50-some people watching, chatting away. I've been trying to keep up with the chat, but at the same time, I'm trying to put down some notes that I'm going to scroll on the screen here in a little bit. I don't know if you guys realize this or not out there in RF land, but there's almost some ham radio guy or maybe girl that live streams every day of the week. Almost. We're almost there, so I want to share that out, make sure everyone knows what channels they are. We're kind of part of a larger group because we're just trying to make ham radio great again, darn it, and I think we're doing a great job. So, no, thanks everyone for checking in. We're going to have a fun discussion tonight. I also should make a few announcements. Next week, this will be over on Nick's channel, the Northwest Ham Shack. I will share that info out if you haven't, if you're not aware of it. But if you just type in Northwest Ham Shack, that's his channel. The net will still take place right here on RF, but the visuals will be over on his channel. And then, by the way, it's my anniversary, so I thought that would probably be best if I take the night off. And then the following week is Nick's anniversary, and we're both on vacation, so no YouTube in 2 weeks, but still an RF net. I mean, I think we'll be all right. But that's all I got for now. We'll talk to people soon. And Carlos, thank you for looking so cool. KM6FAK.
Yeah, it's what I do. All right, thank you, sir. Okay, let's start taking check-ins. And then remember, as you come, radio antenna, now what? So what else you running in your shack or working on, or what's working for you? We'll open up some discussion here as we go through check-in. So it'll be slow, but hopefully we get some good conversation out of it. So come now, who's checking in?
Good evening, KN6BXX, Michael from Carmichael. Thanks for doing that, Carlos.
Hey, welcome, Michael. Nice to hear from you. So what else you got in your shack besides the radio and antenna that you've been playing with or found you have to have?
Really not a whole lot right now. Basically just focus on building up my 2-meter system. I've got the X50 NA antenna that I swapped from Mitch a few weeks back, along with some cable he gave me. Now I've got the parts to put all together, and hopefully next week when I have a day off with cool weather, I'll be able to get on the roof and start hooking up and testing out, see if it works. So that's my next stage. So it's basically trying to make 2 meters even more beautiful, or however you want to describe it. Make it more greater, I guess. So thanks for doing that there, Carlos. And happy anniversary, Jason and Tina. Blessings to you guys. KN6BXX.
Yep, the anti-net, the 2-meter crew. We're here to make 2 meters more better. Thank you, Michael. Who else is checking in?
78DD.
One more time, a little slower. I didn't quite catch that.
Kilo Charlie 7 Alpha Delta Delta, Doug in Vacaville.
Hey Doug, how are you this evening? And what else you got in your shack that's crucial, besides that radio and antenna?
Oh, yes, I have something to talk about that happened this morning. Last night I couldn't get my 10-meter antenna to work very well, and decided I better put up my vertical, and I tuned it up, set it up for 10 meters, or 60 meters, I guess, or 80 meters this morning, and it wouldn't work, and I put my meter on it to check it, and the SWRs were all over the place, couldn't figure out what it was, and decided to trouble check it, and lo and behold, it was a bad cable. I pulled the connector apart, and it was just filled with little bitty spiders. And so, I don't know if anybody has a way to get them out, but I used brake cleaner.
That should have worked.
That's pretty hot stuff. Anyway, just thought I'd share that interesting tidbit with y'all. And thanks for doing the net. And I'm watching you about 15 seconds time delay or so.
Yeah, there's a little pause there for the live net. Boy, we've got it down pretty good, though. I always enjoy the screen. Jason keeps a lot of pertinent info up there, and if we're discussing something, he has it searched and up there visually. So a little delay, but we enjoy it. And thanks for that. Yeah, it seems like sometimes it's a small thing that's wrong, something not obvious, and you just got to go back and check your basics and find a bad connector or something else. I know I had a tough time here on my HF rig for a while, or a week or so. Wasn't sounding quite right. Everything looked great, and the coax from my tuner to the back of the radio had gotten pinched at some time or let go out of the blue, but started swapping out wires and found it there. So you never know. It's always a troubleshooting game when you try to figure that one out. W6CRP, who else is checking in?
KN6IOC, Johnny in Antioch.
Hey Johnny, good evening. Welcome aboard.
Good evening. There's not much interesting aside from the radio and antenna on my end of things. I did upgrade my 50-foot feed line from RG58 to some LMR 400 this past weekend, and that's done a lot of good things.
Oh, that's interesting and good to hear a real-life experience. So popping up to the 400 made a noticeable and substantial difference. Is that in your reception signal, or what did you notice?
I would say across the board, I don't have it with me anymore because I was borrowing it, but I had a directional watt meter, and the difference in reflected power was pretty substantial between the 58 and the LMR 400. There's basically none.
Where did Carlos
go? I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was probably 5 to 10 watts off of my ICOM 2730 on the RG58.
Well, that's cool. And, man, it makes me want to go out and upgrade. Well, thanks for that. Who else is checking in?
Hey, Carlos, where'd you go? You're off Zoom.
I'm running stealth mode. I don't know, I've got all kinds of reconnecting and, let's see, join from the browser. I'll try to get her hooked back up. But who else is checking in?
KM6ZH.
Stan, go ahead.
So I was trying to think, what are the things I really wanted or needed for, what I did. And I got out of a Baofeng and into a Yaesu FT-991A pretty fast. And, an upgraded antenna. I'm going to come through. No, I'm going to stay right here. But what I found were two, you might call it three things. I hate plugging chargers into radios. So for me, the drop-in charger was a must-have. Makes all the difference. It saves me so much time for getting my radio in and out and making sure I actually charge it. But probably the most important thing that I've put on every HT at this point is a hand mic. I can't stand holding this perfectly vertical and trying to talk into it. So I prefer to use a hand mic, and like all things audio, headphones. Those are my big things, hand mics and headphones. KM6ZTH.
Thank you, Justin. Yeah, and I haven't done this a long time, like a year and a half, going on 2 years now. I've been a ham. But, yeah, I've never really used the radios without a hand mic. I tried it briefly, and yeah, definitely not comfortable for me. But thanks for that. And who else is checking in?
Kilo Mike 6, Kilo Foxtrot Whiskey. Lakeside, California.
KM6, KFW, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Daryl in Woodland, and I probably have something that most people are not familiar with, and it's called a ham pod. It's a device. I don't use it on my 2-meter radio, but I use it on my HF radio. Makes my radio fully accessible to those of us that have no vision. There's a gentleman out of Sacramento that makes several different devices for the blind, and it's a lifesaver. It allows me almost free access to my HF radio, and it sits off to the side and has a little keyboard and works wonders. So back to you.
Oh, that is very cool. Yeah, and I think that's cool, taking on the challenge and finding a way to make the radio work for you. So that's good technology there. Thank you for that.
Comment or question?
Go ahead, question.
About the conversation about it called a ham pod for the visually impaired. KN6BXX. Yeah, I got a gentleman, a good friend of our ham club, North Hills Radio Club, named Doug, N6NFF. He's visually challenged, but doesn't stop him from being a great ham net host. Now, he usually has 2 meters and also 10 meter. I think he does some 10 meter work. Would it work for those radios?
This is KM6 KFW with an answer to that. I think most radios it's compatible with. Just to have him search ham pod on the internet, and the gentleman is in Sacramento. He might even know that person. The blind community is pretty, especially for hams. We all know each other. So I would say yes, because he's probably using a Kenwood radio, and it's accessible on other radios too. But yeah, I would guess so. Back to you.
Well, thank you very much. I'll see about touch base with my good friend Doug, N6NFF. Thanks again, KN6BXX73.
Yeah, thank you guys. And W6CRP on the 2 meter crew anti-net. Who else is checking in with us tonight?
W6RJM.
Bit of a double there, but I did catch W6RJN and other station. I'll come back to you next. Go ahead, W6RJN.
W6 Radio Japan, Mexico. Bob in Martinez. Carlos, very recent former Chevron employee. How about that?
Oh, are you now? Well, good to meet you. I'll have to figure out where you were at, and hopefully one of these days I join you.
There you go. I was the business planning manager for ETC's Health, Environment, and Safety Group. Worked for a guy named Don Kinkella. Anyway, so I have more time to play with radios now, and as a retirement gift for myself, I bought one of these very fancy NN6EE approved SBE legal limit solid state amps, and I'm getting that thing working, and having to do a few little cleanup efforts on antennas just to make everything run happily. But yeah, it's a good project and coming along nicely.
Oh, now you're just teasing us. There's several of us out here drooling over some extra power and trying to save our pennies to pull that trigger. But that sounds good. And yeah, NN6 Echo Echo, he's definitely gives some good guidance. He is one that got me started. And Don Kinkella, know him well, worked with him for quite a few years. So congrats on your recent retirement there. And W6CRP, who else is checking in?
N6VLF.
Hey, Kevin, go ahead.
Hey guys, nice to hear everybody. I just want to comment on the ham pod. That's my friend Rob, K6DQ up in the Sacramento area. And yeah, it's a serial port link, and if you look on his site and you don't see a radio, but you have a radio that you might want it to work, and it has a serial port, contact him. He's always looking for someone to loan him a radio so he can write the code for it and make it work. The guy is smart, dedicated, and a really nice dude. So that's Rob, K6DQ, up there in Sacramento. I've been friends with him for a long time. Anyways, nice to hear everybody. Go ahead, Carlos, take it away, N6VLF.
All right, well, thank you for that. And who else is checking in? We had a double there a minute ago. Who was the other station?
KN6GFT. Hi, guys. It's Sandy. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Sandy. And how are you? And what besides your radio and antenna do you just can't live without in your shack?
Wow. Okay, I have my own bedroom shack, and I have piles of old radios because I like the old radios. But, yeah, not too much goes on in there. I'm here, enjoying this, enjoying the night, listening to you guys.
All right, well, thank you for checking in. And who else is checking in?
W1FRD, Fred here.
Hey, Fred, good evening. Good to hear from you. What are you up to?
I'm en route to Vacaville, pick up my son from his symphony practice. And what I can't live without in my shack is my patio furniture, because I'm out there on the deck working HF.
You got to be comfortable to be out there working it. That's true. Good setup wherever you are is important.
I don't know what I'm going to do when it starts raining.
Well, you work at a good spot. Get one of them ginormous patio umbrellas or one of those, something like that.
Some coax inside.
Exactly. All right, thank you, Fred. Who else is checking in?
KD6KWV, Bobby in Concord.
Bobby Lee, how are you doing?
What's going on, brother Carlos and the group, KD6KWV? All things considered, we're persevering, so happy to be here and listening to everybody. Sounds like you guys got a good net. You know what, I'll tell you what I've been living without in my shack is a antenna analyzer. And so I thought maybe I'd drop the bomb on you peeps and ask the loaded question. Who's got recommendations on antenna analyzers? I've been broke as no joke, and I'm selling one of the detail vans here, lickety-split. I'm going to have a second to have a buck in my pocket. So while I do, go ahead, put it in the camera. Let me see. What's he going to show? You know, so let's see. I hear it coming. KD6KWV.
Get a nano VNA. Come on now.
Yeah, Bobby. K6G1.
You know, coming from you, Eric.
Nano VNA all the way, KN6VNQ.
Okay, Nano VNA, it looks like Justin's throwing up in the screen, and I think I just heard Brian as well. Nano VNA.
You want FRD, Nano VNA.
KN6DAL, yeah, Bobby Lee. I just picked up a Nano VNA, and it has changed my game as far as tuning antennas and testing balance and all kinds of stuff. So for the money, man, it's the way to go.
Getting a little confused. I've got another station that must be on our frequency or close that's bleeding over here. I appreciate that, guys. So, and I did see, Nick, you put some cool gadget. I think it was up on the 2 Meter Crew chat room somewhere, and I was looking at that going, oh, gadgets. Anyway, I appreciate it, guys, and it's good to hear everybody. Hope everybody's staying safe, healthy, and continues to thrive. KD6KWV.
All right, thank you, Bobby. And who else is checking in with us?
KF6 Triple H, Dan in Woodland.
Triple H, Dan, how are you doing?
Not too bad. It's either a double or I'm hearing that guy in the other station too. I don't have anything much special here in the station that I can't live without. But the only thing I can think of is I got a couple of, I guess they're like electric wheelchair batteries that I have hooked up. And the other night I found out that my wire from my power supply had actually popped off the back. And I don't know how many days I'd been running on battery power, but if it wasn't for the battery and my connectors and stuff, I never would have known, and I would have been trying to figure out why my radio was dead. But it showed that I was low power on one of the connectors, and looking back, saw a little red wire popped out, popped it back in, everything was fine. So that's about it. KF6 Triple H.
Yeah, I've heard the wheelchair batteries are nice, big, deep cycle batteries and last pretty good. So that's interesting. Who else is checking in?
K6USY, Chuck from Pinole.
KK6USY, go ahead, Chuck.
Yeah, thanks Carlos for running the net tonight, doing a great job. This past weekend, Saturday, I just picked up a new fishing boat recently, and I took it up to Berryessa. Threw my FT-60 in the boat with me with an elk antenna. Jim was at your guys', the owner of Elk Antennas, he was at your guys' field day. And I'd heard a guy doing a soda on 520. So as I'm pointed towards Auburn, I hear the Green Donkey, Derek, K6DJV, come in the backside of my antenna, and I turned around and made a contact with him, and that was pretty good. I basically just threw the radio on just to see if I could hear anything out there, but kind of made my day. It was a nice little contact. I didn't get a real great contact. I only had 5 watts, but he did call my call sign, so it was fun.
That's awesome, and man, I'm telling you that Derek is out there single-handedly keeping Simplex alive around here. He's phenomenal on that. And you get out there on Simplex or go mountaintop somewhere, and to get it out there, he will be there working you. That's pretty awesome. The Green Donkey rules, man. Good to hear that. Who else is checking in? Come again one more time, a little louder. We've got a bad static tell going on here, so give them to me slow so I can make out the call sign, please.
Delta Zero Oscar Delta Golf, Greg in Topeka, on a 5-star.
More audio. Did you hear that, Carlos? Just the audio is a little low, station.
Yeah, I think we may be picking up a little interference from, there's another club that does nets on a distance away that'll bleed over on us a little bit, so hang in there and try to speak clearly up into the mic, and I'll try to pick you out. W6CRP on a 2-meter crew anti-net. Who else is checking in?
Good evening, Carlos. WUNQ. Good evening.
Hey, Mitch. How is it going over there in the headlands?
Well, good evening to the anti-net and everybody out and about, wherever the world you may be. I was, honestly, Carlos, I was just over on 146.52, and from my location in San Anselmo, which is about 20 miles north of Golden Gate Bridge, I'm up in the hills. I am hearing guys up in Lake Tahoe. I'm hearing Dana, N6DTR, and a whole bunch of people all throughout from the south and to the north, over 200-mile stretches on 146.52. So it might be having some conditions, and so it's kind of neat, man. I've never heard Dana before from all the way up in Sacramento. It's so loud. So, turn on VHF, and 6 meters may have some pleasant surprise. Anyway, good evening to all, and thanks for being here and promoting this great hobby, you guys. Carlos, good to hear you, buddy, and back to you, sir.
Hey, thank you for chiming in with that. That is good to hear. So, get on, work some simplex, folks. Looks like we got a little opening going there. Who else is going to check in with us tonight? Go ahead.
November 6th, Golf Yankee X-ray. I informally checked in earlier, but I'm here now. Eric in Sacramento.
KN6 GYX. Thanks for checking in with us tonight. We're talking about radio and antenna in your shack. Now what? So what else you got in the shack that's crucial equipment with you can share with everybody?
To be honest with you, it seems like I'm missing everything crucial all the time since I started this hobby about 6 months ago. It's like, it seems like I'm always waiting for something to come in the mail. So crucial, everything's crucial because I'm waiting, to be honest with you. I'm waiting for one cord in order to get my amp up and running here, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. KN6 GYX, have a great night.
Isn't that the truth? Every time you think you get the shack together, there's one more crucial part you got to start chasing. Nature of the hobby. Thank you for that. Who else is checking in?
GZE. It sucks that someone's interfering with us.
GVE. I think it was KN6 GVE. And there's another club or something in a distant repeater, and I believe they're holding a net, and they can start bleeding over on us at times. But how are you doing? Talk loud into that mic, and we'll pick you out.
No. It's KN6 GZE. You got it wrong there.
Yeah, Carlos.
Gotcha. Golf Victor Echo. I believe that's it, correct?
Hey, look, there's Chuck, everybody. Right here.
Zulu Echo.
GZE.
Got you. Golf Zulu Echo. Go ahead. You got something to share with the crew out here tonight?
So, nothing much going for right now. I'm currently working on a new radio, the KX2, Hovercraft KX2 with the, what is it? It's the... So I'm going for those two and the Chameleon Antenna MCOM 3 portable because, I mean, why not? And I don't feel like buying a vertical. I can only do like one band or like 2 bands or something like that. And so, it's just want more bands.
It sounds like you are after it, and you're right. Myself, I do like an antenna that you can get multiple bands on, so good luck chasing that down and getting out there with it. So did you pick up the radio already, Ryan?
Not quite yet. It's kind of a long ways away. About like $1,600 for the radio and the paddle, plus the like 150 tax that they put on it at checkout.
Yes, sir, I understand that. Seems like it just keeps adding up, on and on and on, huh? Well, good deal with that, and glad to hear you tonight. Who else is checking in? This is W6CRP.
W1FRD, I had something else to share, Carlos.
Sorry, Fred, you had your chance. Just kidding. Go ahead, Fred.
Well, I got up here to the school in Vacville, and then I just remembered I had a good Simplex contact yesterday with Pete in El Dorado Hills, KI6SSI. I always call out on 5.2 when I'm driving, at least for about 5 minutes, and see if I can get someone. So I've been pretty successful getting Simplex contacts like that.
Yeah, and that's something I think I need to do more of when I'm out mobile, is flipping over to 5.2. I know up at the cabin when I'm up the hill, I have been monitoring 5.2 a bit up there, and pretty active. There's a couple of folks up there that'll call out now and again just to keep it active and going. So good to hear, Fred. Who else is checking in?
Alpha Alpha 0 Zulu, Kyle, St. Louis.
AA0Z, how are you doing? And thanks for checking in from way out there. Go ahead, what do you got to share tonight?
Yeah, thanks for getting me on the payroll, as some people out here in the Midwest flatland say. I'll give my 2 cents on anything else but the antenna and the radio. I have used a pair of crimpers and Anderson power poles, like they're going out of style. I think somebody said, "Power pole the world" on a YouTube video. I can't remember who said that, but if you could power pole the world, I would. But Anderson power poles and a good set of crimpers is where it's at. You need that in a good ham shack. AA0Z, back to net.
Yeah, sure makes it nice moving stuff around, disconnect, reconnect. They are worth the effort it takes to put them in. Who else is checking in?
KN6IZB, Joel in Vacaville.
KN6IZB, go ahead, Joel.
Y'all doing tonight? Not much to say here. I got nothing in my shack but but I do appreciate you guys starting that new channel with the emergency, the MCOM go bag stuff, and I'm following that eagerly.
Okay, I haven't even heard about that. Haven't been on radio a lot lately. So what MCOM stuff are you about? You want to share?
It's not so much that I have anything, it's that I'm looking to start stuff. So we got that guys piping in there with the go bag stuff that they have. And so that's it. Just that's what I'm looking at building for my quote unquote ham shack.
Oh yeah, you must be talking about Bobby Lee's one that does phenomenal go boxes and work on that. But yeah, inspiring. Yeah, that's a good deal. Go bags, you always needed, or for me, I just think it'd be cool to have something to throw on the bike and go mobile. So one day, one of the many things on my list. Who else is checking out?
I should also mention what Joel is referring to is the Discord. So Discord, there is a channel about emergency prep, KM6FAK.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jason. I think I was doubling up with you.
Oh, I thought I tailgated you graciously. I was just letting everyone know there is a Discord. I'll drop a link in chat, but that's what we're talking about.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so we have a separate folder, I guess you would call it, or chat room on Discord now for MCOM.
Yeah, people are sharing their go bags and boxes and, well, you name it. You would definitely get inspired.
Good to know. Thanks for that. Who else is checking in?
At Oscar, Quebec, this is Stephen Rockland.
Hey, Stephen Rockland, I got that part. Can I get the call sign one more time slow? I'm getting a bit of carryover. I think we got a station bleeding over on us.
Sure thing, it's Kilo, November 6, Juliet, Oscar, Quebec.
Oh, got it, thank you. KN6, JOQ. How are you this evening?
Doing good, thanks for asking and thanks for hosting the net. I got a real simple one. I'm a new ham, but I tell you, I found one thing I probably shouldn't live without in my shack recently, and that's an ohm meter or a continuity meter. I was testing out a new discone antenna for a scanner and wasn't picking anything up, and I thought, wow, this antenna is a real piece of junk, but found out that one of the pigtail leads I was using for a BNC to SO239 had a dead short and between the center pin and the ground, and confirmed that, of course, with the continuity meter. And I got to tell you, it would have been bad news if I'd have tried to transmit into that thing. So now I've got a little habit where I check all my adapters for shorts before I use them for testing on my nanometer or, receiving, or in particular before I transmit on them.
Good idea and good info. Thanks for sharing. Who else is checking in?
Let me see if I can grab it here. This would be a good example of breaking out the old manual and trying out the encode decode. So of course we're all putting a PL tone into the repeater, but if you are somewhere that you're hearing the other repeater and it's interfering, you could try your Yaesu likes to call it a CT CSS. Your mileage will vary depending on what kind of radio you're using. But yeah, check that out. Maybe that would help your case if you're here in our local area. So in other words, your radio won't open up unless it hears the PL tone. The PL tone is the same as what you need to get into this repeater. This repeater does spit it back out for us. So just kind of want to throw that out there if people weren't aware. KM6FAK.
Yep, good info. And so if people do put in the CTSS, it should stop that bleed over. You won't be hearing it. Who else wants to check in?
Juliet 7, Hotel Zulu Delta, Mark in concrete.
You might still get a little bit on the back end.
Hey, Mark, go ahead.
But
all right, this is Mark in concrete. Now, this is the first time that I've ever heard your net, and just happened upon it on my node here, and I was wanting to check in and say hello. I would say, have a good igloo inside your ham shack so that you can keep some cold drinks. That's probably my only input at this point. But I'd like to hear some more about your net, and that's about it. 73 to you.
Question, this is KN6BAL for Mark.
Yeah. Can I get your call sign again one more time, slow, make sure I can get it here right?
All right, call sign is KJ7HZD, Kilo Juliet 7, Hotel Zulu Delta. And the name is Mark. I'm in Concrete, Washington, and I'm talking to you guys through a hotspot for AllStar. And if there's a question out there, I'd be more than willing to answer it.
No, that sounds good. Thanks for checking in, Mark. I got it that time. And the 2 Meter crew were mainly based out of the San Francisco Bay Area, Fairfield, Walnut Creek, Concord, kind of all over the place. Moran in here. And we happened up on a repeater where there was a lot of us new and starting out, and then a couple of Elmers getting us started. We'd get together on the air, and it kind of developed into this anti-net, we call it. So we're a loose association. We're not an actual club. We started this. A few guys started live streaming this. This is on YouTube, being live streamed on ham radio TV. And we try to get together once a week and kind of share what we've been up to and try to learn something. So we try to pick a topic that kind of brings out some conversation, different things folks are using in their shack. But man, welcome aboard. I'm glad you joined us, and we're on every Wednesday at 7 o'clock.
Okay, KJ7HZD here. Thank you very much for welcoming me aboard. I'll definitely be on here checking it out. That's one of my days off, so I'll check in. All right, have a good one. 73 to everybody out there listening.
All right, KJ7HZD, thanks for checking in. This is Whiskey 6 CRP, 2 Meter crew, anti-net. And we got anybody else out there that wants to check in with us tonight?
K96 CCO, City in Rockland. First time ever hearing this net before.
Hey,
say
thanks
what?
For checking in. Was that a K9 DCO?
It's K9 kilowatt 9, Charlie October.
Oh, got it. CCO. Yeah, thanks for checking in with us. We were trying to get a topic of discussion going tonight. Folks have been checking in on your radio, antenna, and now what? So what else do you have in your shack that's crucial or unique you want to share?
Let me jump in here.
I'll see if I got it.
Go ahead, Nick.
All right, so I was thinking about this. My list of things are not super cool, but to me they're cool, so I'll share them. My number one thing is my soldering iron. I absolutely love it. I use it to make things pretty much on a daily basis, and I couldn't. I don't think I could have made half of the things that I've done without it, and so I rely on that heavily.
And I'm going to do two more things. One of them is a notepad. I am a terrible typer, and if you were looking at the net logger right now, you'd know that's true, because I've been trying to help, and I just can't do it. So I can't type very well, and I use a notepad to write all kinds of little notes down so that I remember them for later, and I'm lost without it. The next thing would be a voltmeter. I use a voltmeter bit to test things like, do I have continuity? I used one to find the same problem that Carlos had talked about with having a feed line issue. Found out because it wasn't working properly. So I use a voltmeter quite a bit to test different things and make sure that they're working. Yeah, and that's all I have for extras. And I wanted to make a mention to Mark there up in Concrete. I'm actually about, I think maybe 40 miles, 50 miles as a crow flies south of you out of Everett. If you want to listen in for the net next week, we're also going to live stream that on Northwest Ham Shack, so you can watch it there. And then it'll, for the remainder of the time, on additional weeks, it'll be on Ham Radio TV as well. So there's lots of ways to get connected with us if you choose. So thanks for joining us. KN6DAL.
Yeah, thanks for that, Nick. Jason, did you have something also?
Yeah, I just wanted to welcome everyone that is just tuning in. Maybe we've been blabbering enough out there in RF land. They just discovered this repeater. It has a pretty good reach. But I just want to remind people, if they didn't know already, we are live. We're live on YouTube. That's the idea of this kind of fun, casual anti-net, as we call it, on Wednesdays. So on YouTube, you're just looking for Ham Radio TV. Ham Radio TV, you'll find us there. Almost every Wednesday, we're live somewhere. We will be taking a break in 2 weeks, but the net will still go on. And for me, I didn't give my 2 cents, and I could say a lot of things. I mean, I really love having a computer. I just recently built one. You could build one for $200-300. Have a really great machine. There's so many things that are very much PC friendly, Mac as well. But probably for me, I'm gonna go with a mixing board and a microphone. I mean, how fun is this? I feel so cool. Like a DJ or whatever, and this goes right into the radio, HF. You can hear yourself talk, so let's say your radio is not as fancy and you still want to be able to monitor, you want to listen, and I really enjoy that aspect. You don't necessarily have to do all this crazy YouTube stuff. I mean, obviously that's part of it for me, but I really like a mixing board. You can pick up a cheap used one, $20, maybe a new one, $50. They get up to $100, and you can get a really good microphone for about $80. So anyways, that's what I think. KM6FAK.
Thank you, sir. And anybody else want to share? We're getting up on top of the hour, so we'll see if anybody else out there wants to check in with anything new they want to share with the group. Come now. All right. Well, those folks that have checked in with us already, anything else you guys want to bring up?
Open floor. We're getting ready to open up Zoom. Let me get that link ready.
Let's see. How about WG5?
This is Rick, NQ60, Vacaville.
Anything to update with the crew out there?
There's a station that broke in a little bit there with you, Carlos.
All right, station, go ahead, come back.
NQ60, Rick in Vacaville.
NQ60, go ahead, Rick.
And I got bit by the bug to get out there. Let me get some volume turned down. Hold on. There, we got that taken care of. I got bit by the bug to get out there and buy a nano VNA, and I went through all the the barrage on Amazon.com and all the different versions and choices you've got. I ordered a Nano VNA-F. It's a 4.3-inch screen. It has a wider frequency range. A metal case, just a lot of positives for me there. And I got it yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, I got it the day before yesterday, and I shipped it back to Amazon yesterday.
Oh no!
The reason I did that is I got busy online and doing a lot of research about the model and the software, and there's users groups out there for the Nano VNA. And I discovered that the one I had was undoubtedly a counterfeit box, and based on the logo, etc., from the people that have the rights to build the Nano VNA-F, I discovered it was a counterfeit, so I sent it back to Amazon to get the refund and start that process over again. In addition to that, I learned that Amazon has changed their refund policy. I was shocked a few years back when I wanted to send something back to Amazon. They sent me an email mailing label. I went over and dropped it off at the UPS store, and before I got home, the money was back in my account. I was, needless to say, extremely impressed with that, and I expected that to happen this time. However, apparently the rules have changed. They now sent me an email that said 7 days after they receive it, and they ship me a label for UPS ground, 7 days after they receive it, I'll get a refund. So I guess that could be a few weeks.
Oh, well, sorry to hear that, but good thing you were astute enough and checking it out to realize it was a counterfeit.
Evidently, a large percentage of them are, and all you can do is get out there and start researching and find out what support there is for the one you have. The situation I know that I would have found myself in had I not discovered that is as soon as I needed to do a software update, it may have totally trashed the system, or if I needed tech support and I realized immediately that the website they gave me was bogus and not operational, then I'd be stuck with a $100 plus just down the tubes. So I'm glad. Thanks. NQ60, Rick.
Yeah, thanks for that. Good heads up. Folks can be watching out for that if you're getting out there to buy a Nano. Double check where you're buying it from there. Make sure you're getting the real deal. Who else is checking in?
KO4FNH checking.
KO4FNH, how are you doing this evening?
Doing well. KO4FNH, I'm in central Kentucky, so I'm just checking in by EchoLink. Not quite as interesting as the shop talk, but this is my first connection after receiving the tech license, so wanted to make it with you guys after watching for so long. KO4FNH.
Oh, excellent, man. It's good to hear from you. Welcome to the Anti-Net and the 2-meter crew. So, yeah, and congratulations on the tech. You just get it recently then, huh?
Within the last week or so, actually, posted officially. So the test a couple of weeks ago started out kind of a prepper interest, and now I'm kind of bit by the bug. So here I am, learning from you guys.
Yeah, well, my condolences. I'm about a year and a half old ham myself, and it just keeps growing. Yeah, I got that same kind of thing, the bug, and start buying one radio and two, and setting up your ham shack, and a lot of fun, man. Good folks out here too, and I've enjoyed it. A lot of learning, listening to these guys out there. There's some good Elmers with us, and a lot of fun. So welcome aboard. I'm glad you checked in.
Thanks again. I've definitely learned a lot already and look forward to more. Those that are producing content like this, we are definitely listening. So please keep doing so. KO4FNH.
Thank you much. Anybody else want to check in with us tonight? All right then, how about any of our coordinators? Do you have anything you wanted to add? Justin or Mike or Jason, Nick?
I'll add that as we walk away from the repeater in the next few minutes, I just dropped a link there in chat on YouTube, on Ham Radio TV, the Zoom link. So anybody can join us in Zoom. We typically hang out, just talk radio stuff for another hour.
Sounds good. And anybody else?
At KM6GH, I think one of the most important things that I left out is a beverage. And while I'm enjoying a tasty beverage right now, typically for me, that's coffee or water. You know, you get chatting on the radio or something, you want to wet that whistle.
Indeed. That's why I like the earlier suggestion, something you have to have in your shack was an igloo cooler. Perfect.
So Chuck, I realized...
Well, we had a good conversation and check-ins tonight, so I appreciate everybody joining in. 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net. I, for some reason, have lost Wi-Fi down here in the old garage shack.
You can put a RAM mount ball in the back.
Zoom. But we're past the hour and done pretty good. Had some long-distance contacts and some folks just getting their ticket and joining us, so it was good. I'm glad to hear from everybody. Thank you much for checking in. I am going to go ahead and close the Anti-Net. As Jason said, though, they have opened up the Zoom link. If you want to participate and jump in there and have some more face-to-face conversation, that'll be going on for a little bit. So thank you all again, and thank you to the VBR Radio Club and the W6 VBR Repeater for letting us host the Anti-Net on here weekly. Hope to hear you all again. This is W6 CRP. I'll be turning the frequency and the repeater back to normal operations. Thank you much.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Chuck and I were in the chat just now talking about...
Don't everyone talk at once.
Am I coming through, Nick? Oh, look at that. I am muted on Zoom. Chuck and I were just talking about the FTM 400, to continue our conversation from last week.
To continue our conversation from last...
There we go. I think I'm going to save my lunch money a little bit longer, and I want to get the FTM 400. After doing some more research and learning about this APRS during this week, I saw a guy up on the Rubicon, and he was just dragging a snail trail through the Rubicon, where he was in his trip. And this website I'm on now is called aprs.fi. I think there's a few different interfaces, but this one, there's all sorts of stuff from weather stations and all that. So I'm going to go for that FTM 400. And you can put a RAM ball, if you're familiar with a RAM mount, you can put that on the back of the radio. So I think that's really cool.
Nice.
So go ahead, everyone. The floor is yours. Or not. You might have to unmute yourself and then just check that your YouTube behind you is not still playing, because it will be with a weird delay.
So Jason, on APRS, the real question on the FTM 400 is, can you use your FT-70 to transmit back APRS as a crossband repeat back to something?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, so I know the APRS I think only works on channel B on the lower side of the radio because it's a dual VFO, and then the digital only works on the A side of the VFO. And some people have complained about that. That's one thing the 300 can do, is you can have two digitals on both sides at the same time. Although I was reading the 300 does not crossband repeat, and that's kind of a fun feature for an off-road vehicle as well.
Yeah, I was just thinking if you got out hiking, right, and you want your radio to be APRS, right, using your truck, your pickle, as it may be for you, would be an awesome repeater.
Ah, okay. That is a good question. Can I use the... I know what you're saying. Can I use that kind of as that pushing node, if you will?
Right. So you might be able to transmit out from the radio on B, like you said, but you'd have to come in on A with your radio. But I don't know if that would cross or how that would work, but it would be interesting. I have not looked it up, but as you mentioned the trail, it made me think of hiking trails. So
yeah, you would... The problem is you would need a way to push your GPS information that, you know... you would also need a HT with GPS, or put that somehow into your signal, you know. So you would need, because an analog signal is not going to push your GPS along with it. Yeah, that's some fancy business right there. I don't know.
Yeah, you'd have to do one of those like Android setups where you're coming in with tones into your HT. I have not done that, so I got no room to talk.
Switching.
You guys are all welcome to come in. You just unmute your microphone. Make sure YouTube is off. Am I not making it?
No, I hear you. People are talking about crossband repeat functionalities for the 300 and the 400.
I was looking on Amazon to see just the features on that. If it, I think you're right though, Jason. I don't think 300 does crossband.
No, yeah, I didn't see that either. I was on.
Because if it did, I would be a little closer to that.
The thing about the 300 is the price will come down.
Yeah, and I think the 400 will too.
Yeah, the 400 is super inflated right now. I don't know what's going on.
I think it's just been discounted so long that they've had it down, so they're bringing it back up.
Right. We got Trevor. Was that you that you just gotten your ticket?
Your
ticket?
It was. Yep. So it was nice to check in.
Yeah. Hey. Welcome. It was good to have you. Have you been watching us or listening to us through anything for any period of time?
About 30 days or so. Once I kind of decided to, go ahead and get serious and take the test, I'd probably been watching about 30 days. So I've been soaking up information for a little while.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's great to have you. I'm glad you made it out here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's it's keep pushing out content. It's I'm a sponge. I'm still soaking it all in. So
I think we all are. I'm like always attached to researching something. So
fair enough.
How we all work, but yeah.
I just like the distance connection. I'm in Central Kentucky, so it's neat to branch out.
You just have to stay up a little later right now.
Yeah, it is 11:20 here. It is a little later. Yeah.
Have you networked with any other ham radio operators in your area?
Individually, yes. Group wise, but not as far as transmissions and radios go yet. So, I've got a little handheld now that got me started on the prepper side. But I've joined a local group, and when all this mess is done, I'll actually get to meet some of them. So,
yeah, that's awesome. So, right now, the only radio you have is a handheld?
Yeah. Actually, I'm pretty interested in, watch the video that Jason put out about the mobile. I'm pretty interested in that one. I think that would meet my needs. So, watching that, seeing the install and how it all worked was pretty helpful.
Yeah. There's tons of great options out there. That's cool. So hopefully you find some repeaters that are pretty active in your area and meet some people that can, just it starts in one spot and just kind of spider webs out into a million different little hobbies all in one. So.
Yep, that's the goal.
Yep. Start saving your money.
Right.
So, Trevor, did you get to take the test in person, or did you have to do the online thing? And how was that experience? Either way.
We actually did it in person. There was a local EOC here that's still doing it, and they were just very strict on masks and 6 feet of distance. So they checked your temperature when I came in, and they're pretty strict on the physical restrictions. But I was able to take it in person, which I preferred.
I agree. I actually scheduled a setup for the 21st of September to take my next test. So we'll see how that goes.
You're going extra, Nick?
I'm going extra, man. We'll see.
Ooh.
It is
trying to do CW at the same time? Man.
I've been dabbling. Yeah, so I'm about halfway through the alphabet on CW. It's tough, man. And then the people that I tune in, they're all a lot of people have to be using keyers, man, because there's no way these people are that good. I mean, I'm tuning down on the HF bands and listening to some of these people. They're just like, and you can't even catch, what they're spelling out. It's so fluid and fast,
That's not real CW.
Yeah, I'm waiting to find the person that's going like super slow so I can at least like follow what they're saying and maybe write it down and try to figure it out.
All right, so I'm having some chit chat in the comments here. Let me see if I can flip this screen. And DX Engineering, it's got me all mixed around. Everyone's saying no, the 300 does cross-band repeat. But if you go to DX Engineering's site and you go to specifications, it has a no. So that's good to hear. I thought that was pretty silly for a 469 radio with a dual VFO and not cross-band repeat. So that is good news.
Hey, Jason.
So it does
Mike.
do it.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, so did I hear correct? You're becoming an APRS fan? I just finally started playing around with it.
Yeah, so what can you tell us? Because I haven't started. I've only started checking it out, like the website here.
Yeah, I've still got a lot to learn. I'm actually considering starting a digipeater of my own because I've got access to a couple of towers.
Oh.
Where I think they're underserved areas. So I'm going on a trip this weekend to visit my son in Ohio. So that'll be the first time. Here is my big interest in APRS. The big hook for me was when I'm with my family, especially my wife, one of the last things you'll find me doing is monitoring my radio. But with APRS, it's just sitting there. It can be in the background. You could sit there looking at the screen, hearing your wife tell you about her day and go, yeah, uh-huh. Oh, yeah, there's KC8MTV. Cool. So for me, it's just another way of enjoying the hobby while having others in the car. But it is really neat. I find it fascinating. I did some text messaging back and forth with some of these stations, and you'll be blown away to see how well coverage is.
And tell us what the digipeater is.
That is actually how these people who actually get the for my lack of terms, the aggregate information that you see online, like APRS.FI.
Right.
If you look on there, and I haven't learned what all the symbols represent, but there are certain, usually repeaters you'll find offer this as a service, from their antenna, their site, and they will pass this information along and share it with others. And so there is a way you can even get your information from maybe traveling in a rural area, and there is a station out there that isn't a digipeater, but it sends information to a service. So I'm still trying to figure all of this out, but a digipeater is what picks us up, and you'll find it on your iPhone or your smartphone, where you're at.
And so the idea, and please fill in for those that have just no idea what the heck's going on YouTube. I'm sharing this map There's a whole lot of stuff going on, but essentially you're going to have a radio that is, APRS ready or capable, and then you're going to need some kind of GPS. Now, some radios you get lucky, the GPS is built right in. The FTM 400, it's built right in. The 300, and please correct me, chat room, the 300, I think you have to buy and add a dongle for the 300 GPS. And at that point, then the radio will take one of your VFOs and just sit. Is it on one frequency or is it multiple frequencies? That's one thing I'm trying to figure out.
So I heard you make a comment about the B band. Ideally, I read into that over the weekend because I have...
You're talking about APRS?
I have the 400. And you can actually make it operate an APRS from the A band. You have to designate that.
Oh.
But I think the logic has been... At least with the 400, it only does C4 FM in the A band, and you might as well be running C4 FM in the B band. So that's the logic I had. But you can change it so that it will operate from the A band. And don't forget, when you run with this, you're running it all the time. Keep in mind when it's transmitting, if you're on a repeater, you're gonna drop out for a moment. I always explain that to people when I'm on a repeater. You get that? Because it's sending out the burst.
Right.
And you'll essentially just drop out for a moment.
Right, yeah. So if you're chit-chat, and you're APRSing, when it goes to burst, then your voice goes away.
Yeah. I will make one comment about that. And again, I'm a novice. I just got started with this last week. But they make this, it's designed so it can be very smart. In fact, they have a smart function that when you're traveling, depending on your speed, it can enhance the frequency of sending out that burst, the packet, all depending on a few variables. I wish it would notice that you're already speaking on the A band or the opposite band, and maybe if you enable that option, that maybe it wouldn't do that and be so intrusive, but I don't know, maybe that is possible.
And Chris KJ6DLF also reminded us that SMS, you can text via APRS, which is another great reason for running this out in a Jeep or on a trail, a little off-roading, and that's kind of exactly why I'm buying this radio for this vehicle. It's the fun vehicle, and I kind of want to have a fun radio, not just... I could buy so many radios that would just work, but yeah.
Yep. The texting works. Tried it this past weekend.
How about that?
Cool stuff.
Anybody else have any thoughts or questions about APRS?
I don't know a whole lot about APRS, but what I do know is that a lot of your emergency communications groups and stuff use it like to keep track of each other when they're doing like search and rescue and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. And so learning about it might be good if you have intentions in the future of maybe volunteering for something like that. So it's kind of interesting to me for that reason.
Yeah, and like I said, this week at work, break and lunch, what have you, I'm just daydreaming. Okay, what radio do I want to buy? How much do I want to spend? And so, I discovered this website, and a past Jeep guy getting back into it. I was checking out the map up on the Rubicon, and sure enough, I found a guy up there, and I go, oh, okay. And so it gives you the call sign, in which you go to QRZ, you look him up. I got his name. And I was like, oh, well, let me just see. I like to use Facebook as far as seeing who's who, what's what. It is the FBI Incorporated, right? Facebook. And so, sure enough, there he was. So I shot him a message, and I'm like, hey, I think you're on the Rubicon. I noticed he was from Vacaville, and I just kind of said hello. Have not heard anything back from him. But I know when you're not friends on Facebook, sometimes it just goes into a dark hole, and nobody will know about it for a while. But I thought that was kind of cool. Seeing a guy on the Rubicon, a ham, obviously APRS, and from Vacaville, which is right where I'm sitting.
What happened?
Nothing happened.
We're waiting for you to talk, Bobby Lee.
What's going on? I like.
What the hell happened?
Are you in the red light district?
Yeah,
there's a red light there. I know it kind of messes me up too.
I'm
You
looking
usually use it at nighttime. Is that
Where's the window with the ladies?
Yeah, I'm looking out the camera, see if anybody's walking by.
What's new with you, Bobby Lee?
Oh man, really not much. You know, it's been a rough couple of days with Mom, and I just starting to breathe now, and I was reminded that tonight was the net, so I miss you guys, and I wanted to get out here and say what's cracking. So I appreciate that nano info, and then it was interesting hearing that guy mention that he got a bunk one. So I was like, that's a little interesting. I wasn't sure if it was bunk. Maybe he thought it was because it was in a different case. I didn't know if people offer just buying it like maybe you would buy a hotspot and have to put it together.
Yeah.
I don't know, and so I found that interesting. And then when he said, he got the F or like /F, I'm all, there's different models. Great.
Yeah, there is, and honestly, I think it's like with anything that gets reproduced and remanufactured in China, it gets copied and then recopied, and it's just like a Baofeng. You can get, supposedly like a legitimate one or the copies of the copies and things like that. I don't know. Maybe there's some issues with the copies of them. I think for the most part, people just find the one that has the additional items that they want and then just order it. But they do have that new one out, and that was the one he was referring to with the bigger screen. And so maybe somebody copied it and it's just not working well or something. But I think if you stick with the smaller screen one, a lot of people have had pretty good success with it, at least for our hobby.
And what is that? Because I think he said a 4.5-inch screen, didn't he?
Yeah. The small ones are like a 3. So I'll see if that.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
That's
now
about the size of it.
What's the price on these things?
I paid $54.99 on Amazon.
Wow. I mean, I've been seeing antenna analyzers for $350, $400, $500.
Yeah, and then one thing you should do is check out Jason's. When was that? When did he do
Last
that?
week.
Last week, Kevin came on and just did a little demo to try to explain a couple of things, and just to give people like a brief overview of how the Nano VNA worked. And one of his comments that I held in pretty high regard was, in order to get the features that are available on that super inexpensive unit, you could pay thousands and thousands of dollars for another type of vector network analyzer and still not get all of the things that are available on this.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, and so at least for what I do, which is simply just testing, equipment I made myself, so it's kind of guesswork anyway. It's giving me an avenue to be a little bit more efficient, and that's all I aim to do with it. If you're trying to build like a very competitive station and it needs to be that much better than your next door neighbors or something like that, I mean, maybe it wouldn't work as well. But for what most of us are doing, we've all been pretty happy with them so far.
Nice. Well, I was intrigued by them. They did look cool, and it definitely had the gadget factor, but that's the one thing, when Carlos started the net tonight, was thinking about, what do I have in the shack? And it made me realize what I didn't have, and being that I'm selling the one of the detail vans in a second, it's going to give me a few bucks, and that was one thing that I wanted to do, just because, I'm a hook it up and go guy. I hate to admit it, but I have never, with respect to my HF rig, I double and triple check my SWR, but my VHF UH stuff, man, I hook my antennas up, hook them into the radios. Hey, I don't, I know it's bad. I should check SWR and everything.
What are you using now to check SWR?
A diamond, actually, it's funny. I mounted it in the Go box. So I think I have
an inline meter.
I think I have this cool. I don't know if you can see this. Can you see this? Let's see if I can. I don't know if I can get that in there right.
Okay. I can't quite read it. But...
Okay. Back it up a little. Fields.
Oh, a field strength indicator.
So yeah, it's kind of, I found this at you can get some light on there.
Come on, Vanna.
Yeah, that's perfect.
This thing's kind of cool. It's heavy duty, nice steel case. I found this honestly at the flea market. I got it for $2 in like brand new condition in the box.
Wow.
But I've also got, which is cool. I've got this bad boy that I found a long time ago. And it's kind of cool because it's got this cool chart on. Let's see if I can get the right light. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this. Oh.
VSR.
Ever so slowly.
VSWR chart, huh?
Okay. Then you flip it around, and it's kind of old school cool.
Oh, that's good. That's nice to have.
And so I've got this. I found this actually at a flea market. I paid $10 for it, brand new in a box. And I find people get this stuff and they go they buy people's storage units, and that's what I kind of hope for. That's how I found some really trick Motorola's and things of that nature. Just by so I found a $700 XPR 7550, one of these guys. Believe it or not, with no battery, it was just sitting under a pile of junk.
Hey, we're missing one from work.
And it was beat to heck, but I got it for $10. And I threw one of my batteries on it. At first it wouldn't read because it didn't have the protective cap that goes on the side where the radio connects to read it if you're not doing Bluetooth. And I just cleaned that side with alcohol, and I read that radio, so now it's a DMR radio that sits on the shelf for $10. But anyway, to get back to the measuring stuff, that's the kind of stuff that I feel like I'm kind of lacking with more modern technology. And I really want to kind of look at, my antenna connections more seriously instead of just being the fly-by-night hook up and go. And gosh, guys, sorry I look like such crap. I'm so sleep deprived, and I told Sandy today, I talked to her, she's kind of going through something, taking care of her mom as well, and I told her, I slept the entire day. I've been beaten up the last few weeks, so believe me, coming out here and seeing you guys today is a great gift, and I really appreciate all of you being out here, because this is, for me, it's a little sneak away, get out, see my bros, have some kind of human being interaction. This ham radio has saved my life. You guys might not realize this, but I've been locked down for almost 18 months, not the 4 or 5 that we've all been. I got hit with my mother's health situation 13 months before COVID hit. And then when COVID hit, I've been double locked down. So that's what really significantly contributed to me diving deep into the hobby, was having an outlet, because I knew how challenging it was going to be being locked down so significantly, taking care of my mother. So, I love my hobby, and I hate seeing all the drama out there on my 3.3. Breaks my heart, but hopefully that smooths itself out at some point and just maybe goes away and we get back to hams being hams. So I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'm glad I'm here tonight with all of you.
Right on, Bobby. It's always good to see you.
Thanks, Bobby Lee.
Cheers,
but I looked
mate.
at the camera, I'm all, oh my God, I look like Christ just sent me a bus and then it back over me.
This hobby has nothing to do with how you look. Maybe a little how you sound, but,
Hey, Nick.
Yeah, well, you got those down.
Hey, Bobby Lee.
Hey, little princess, what's cooking?
Whoa.
All right.
That'll wake you up. Hello, Molly.
Oh, did I yell too much? Sorry.
No, Molly.
Oh, Molly, yes.
You don't have to yell into it. They can hear you right
there. Molly is like my hero. Somebody that just brings the best energy into my life. Every time I hear your voice, young lady, you fill my heart with joy.
You know, Nick, I think you should get her tech license before you get your extra.
Based on how many questions there are in that pool, that might be the case.
I have an app to get my license.
Awesome.
All right. Awesome. To be a rising star like you, and
I don't mostly do it.
It's summertime.
So, Jason.
Yes.
You did order the 300, or you got it, or?
No, I think I'm gonna buy the 400, but I don't have enough lunch money shoved in my sock drawer yet.
A wise move, because I'll tell you, on DMR, let's see, worldwide, I got a friend out there. That's a Yaesu. Oh no, I'm sorry, on Fusion, on America Link. I apologize. And he's just one of those guys out there, a great mentor, and he got the 300, and he's talking, telling people that they really should wait for the second or third generation, which is really kind of the things that I do anyway when a new radio comes out.
Yeah.
Because I've been hearing some weird bugs that have come out that he's pointing out that are supposed to be able to be fixed with software or something, and I don't recall what the bug is. I just remember I'm talking about it. But, the cool thing that I thought with the 300 was not being band specific when it comes to going on Fusion. And the other cool thing was, well, that's actually the coolest thing about the radio is just like maybe the 7100 or 5100 ICOM, you can monitor D-Star and analog simultaneously. And you can't do that with the other radios. This is I think it's probably one of the biggest complaints with Yaesu. And so with the 300, you'll be able to be on your C4 Fusion node if you're mobile or base or whatever, and be able to talk VHF or UHF on another band simultaneously. And I thought that should have been done first and foremost on all, but I think that's probably the biggest hit of that 300. What's the price?
$469, $460 here on MTC, the main trading company.
What's the 400s? What about 400? Or is it? Oh, actually, it went up, didn't it?
It did.
I heard people say that it went up when the 300 came out, which was kind of awkward.
Well, I do know that first it was the FTM 400, was it DR, and then it turned into a 400X, XT, X something, and I was reading that they did they put some stuff in there. I don't know if it was just hardware or firmware, but they kind of, and I was looking around for release dates. I was trying to learn when this happened as far as time frame, and I really couldn't figure that out. But anyways, when you go buy a 400, it's going to be an X. I should bring it on my screen here. I'm staring at the 300 right now, trying to understand that.
It's funny. I sold my detail van, and the guy's going to pick it up, so I've had to take all that custom install out, which just broke my heart because...
Oh, the white one?
Yeah, it was the sickest, coolest install, and I just gutted it, It was heartbreaking for me, but, the guy's going to put some money in my pocket, and I've got all these other vehicles to sell, so I've kind of gotten forced into that position. I don't feel bad about it, but it hurt taking those radios out, man, and there's a funny thing with the AMG, all the radios are sitting on a shelf, and I took the remote head to the 5100. I'm sitting in the AMG, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. And it sits, if I remove the what do they call it, the ashtray door plate or whatever that swings open, this 5100 module sits in there like factory. Like if I can figure out how to get that door off, it will sit there so flush it looks like it came with the car. And then in the console, I put the FTM 400. And then on the top console, because there's two different depths, they kind of do this. You one here and it's shallow, or you bring them both up and it's deep. So FTM on the bottom, and then a Uniden 436 handheld that's plugged into mobile power, and plugged into this custom little trick thing that my buddy had wired that allows you to hear the scanner through the speakers in the stereo. So it sounds like, it sounds like dispatcher quality in AMG stereo, 16 very deep, with the drop top down. So I mocked up some antennas on the back just for fun. I put all those low profile antennas like they'd have on police cars on the back of the Benz. They're just sitting there, but if I could take this camera and show you that, you guys would laugh.
I have to take some pictures for next time.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey Ryan, so tell us what you ordered recently. Did you order that? I saw you shared like a receipt or an invoice, or was that just your wish list?
Yes, I ordered a new receiver today.
What did you get?
So it's the Texon PL660. And the reason I got that one is because it has an antenna gain switch and a direct key in.
And you got that from what website?
So I got it from Amazon.
Okay. And what's that model number?
The Texon PL660.
I gotta say, how cool is it to see these kids out here so inspired by the hobby at such a young age? Mm-hmm. Ryan, I was one of the goofballs that were saying, you got to get a Bio 12.8, and then Nick set me straight, and I'm like, oh, great. I just looked about as stupid as I could as a 52-year-old in front of, how old are you, bro?
Oh, I just spent $1,500 on a Bio.
What's allowance for?
Yeah, so Ryan, are you watching YouTube?
Yeah, I have YouTube on right now, but it's muted.
Okay, yeah, so here in a couple seconds, is this the radio you bought, this little guy?
Oh, the PL660.
Oh, okay, PL660. Let me go back. What did I do?
I think they have it.
I put that in. Oh, is it silver?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's like retro. I like it.
So that's the radio right there.
And what can this all do bands wise? I see it can do sideband.
So it can do sideband, all your HF bands, your FM broadcast band, your medium wave band, and air band.
What about long wave?
I don't.
What do you mean by long wave?
Below 520 megahertz.
Yes, it does AM broadcast.
Okay. Well, anything below 520 is long wave. That's no problem. I've got an SDR Play RSP1A, and I've got the charge up S8800. It's a larger Texon radio. It has long wave. If you hook up some
if you look at a side image right there, you can see the switches in the jack and the jacks right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the headphone jack on the top is actually the external antenna, and then that's the antenna gain switch, DX, normal, or local.
Wow.
So basically, it turns down the gain. And then tone, treble, or bass, headphones.
Yeah, and what a great way. I mean, for me right away, I'm thinking, well, this would be just cool to have. It probably takes batteries, so you could always have it ready, and then you could walk around your house and sniff out noise.
Classic.
Yeah, I just have to switch the thing to local, and it just works.
Well, all right. We'll look forward to.
Unlike my current one, the GP5, this one has the S meter for sideband, and my GP5 doesn't. It only does for AM and FM.
Okay.
So, and also got the direct key in right there. So you can just type in a frequency, go to wherever you want.
I don't know what I'm searching for.
And then there's a smaller version of that. It's not made by the same company. It's called the Seacrane Skywave SSB.
Oh, I've seen that.
I need one of those masks. Sorry.
That has
Jason?
That has all of the bands. That has all of the bands that are packed into that radio. However, it also includes weather band, and that's a little bit more expensive.
Now, did you buy a KX3 recently too?
No.
Oh,
Of course not.
I saw you share a bunch of stuff. Well, very cool. Yeah, I think a lot of us. I mean, I forget about these little shortwave radios, and you know they could be used so many different ways.
Check this out. I want to steal
If
this.
you are, if you're like a ham and you want to look into just like a receiver, you have to get one with sideband, and that's like a major requirement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Upper and lower.
Yeah, it's hard to manage shortwave radio without sideband. I mean, without sideband, you're missing almost half of any voice communication over HF, especially ham. You're missing everything voice on ham without sideband.
And then I'm pretty sure with that model radio, you can decrease the bandwidth.
Okay, yeah, so you can kind of trim out noise if anything's sitting on you either side.
Yeah, if you're doing CW, you know, that.
Someone's asking about the PL880. They're saying, what about that one? Ooh, that one looks cool. So
No, I haven't looked at the 880 yet.
Was that you, Bobby?
Yeah. Did you see the Sony thing I showed you?
It was a case, or what was in there?
This is what Ryan made me think about this. This is a very unique, again, flea market find that
I need to get my
butt in this kit. Okay.
Oh yeah.
And thanks, Jace. So, believe it or not, this kit is, and here's the little radio. This is so cool.
It's a lot going on in there.
Here's the radio. Okay.
Ooh.
Let's see if I can get some right light on here.
Hey, we need to get you a TikTok rim light there, Bobby.
Yeah, I don't know what else to do. Sorry, I got horrible lighting here, but anyway, the point of this has actually got this trick antenna system. It's got a battery that goes in there. It's got this little, let's see if I can pull this out here. The cord that comes out, and it goes for a long time, and then this antenna just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And it's got a built-in power amp. So I paid $35 for this, Jason. Look it up.
All right, let's see what this is.
Let's see.
Is it still? It can't be available still. I see.
Dude, I found this thing for like anywhere from, well, the first one of the, someone's selling this right now as this exact kit for $590. I found it, I think, as cheap as maybe a 100 or two. I don't know. Go ahead and look it up and see what you find. But
wow.
The cool thing about it is you see this case, man. This is cool. It's just, well, there's your earphones in there that come out in that little circle thing, and
it does have sideband.
It's got
cool. Nice.
$35, and it's like brand new. Like someone bought it and used it once, and then put it back in the case.
How about $288 on eBay?
Right, and keep scrolling down and look. You'll find it going. If you scroll down, you'll find it probably. I mean, $288 and $35, bro.
Yeah.
You know, I found one for as much as $590. And is the $288 the full kit like mine?
Yeah. Now, how often you go to how often you go to your flea market?
Well, I go every Sunday. It's my only. I work 7 days a week, 24/7, and it's my only escape. I get about, well, usually on Sundays it's a 90-minute break. So I get 90 minutes every other day, which amounts to a 4.5-hour break every 7 days.
So you're saying if you've got one of these flea markets in your area within less than an hour, it might be worth just swinging by.
Well, I do it just to get away.
But it sounds like you're finding cool stuff.
I look for radios and, well, we'll just say cute girls.
Oh.
But I'm trying to be appropriate here, but I'm usually more checking out the back of them first.
So you wear dark glasses?
Absolutely.
Very good.
Here's Natalie.
Oh.
Speaking,
Good. Natalie doesn't know what I'm saying.
Speaking of cute girls, look at that. What color is her hair, Nick?
Kind of red.
Fire engine red.
Oh my goodness, I wasn't sure if I was having a color issue.
And her behavior shows it.
Oh.
You can have your hands full.
Girl.
How old is she, Nick?
She's just a little over 9 months now.
Is she crawling fast? Is she crawling now?
Oh yeah, she's a mover.
That
fast crawler.
That mic's a little far away from you there, Nick.
Sorry.
It's all right.
That's okay.
I want to hear from Bert. Tell me about that radio. I saw a post. You got it fired up and it's running. Did you transmit on it at all?
Yeah, I had it running or whatever, so then I wasn't sure. I mean, I clicked the button to see if it would transmit, but I don't know if it got out. I was trying it on the 10.7 thing that Brian was trying to get up and stuff, but I don't think I didn't even hear anybody on that 10 meter. But I mean, I was like going around all around. I was like, I couldn't hear anything on 10 meter.
So one thing you can do, that'll go 40, 20, 80, all of those bands, right?
Yeah.
So do you have an antenna that you can tune it to one of those bands?
Yeah, I was listening to 80. I was listening to 40.
Okay.
20.
So if you can tune on, say, 80 or 40 or 20, whatever you want, any of them should work any time of day for this purpose. You can go to a web SDR app. So you can go to like the KFS web SDR, and you can transmit and tune it to the same frequency, and you can visually look for your signal. And then you can also listen to hear on your computer, or you can even put it on your phone and listen to see if you can hear yourself talk when you transmit. Oh wait, are you general?
I'm not a general yet, so I'm only.
Okay, so there is one in Utah, but that's not going to probably receive on 10 meters, is it, Jason?
I don't think so. No.
No.
What about the one that's in San Francisco? Or
yeah, but I don't think that one does 10 meters. Let me double check.
None of it goes up.
KFS? No.
Yeah, the
no,
highest.
no, maybe they do. They might. Hold on.
Whoever.
Are you talking about the KF? Are you talking about the Half Moon Bay?
Yeah.
SDR?
Yeah.
Hey Nick, are you checking right now? I think it might go.
That's me. Sorry.
The Kiwi. Check. Hey Nick, check the Kiwi SDR because Half Moon has a Kiwi system as well. I think it might reach 10 meters. I'm not sure.
Yeah, if we can find him one that'll reach there, then he can play around without even somebody on the other end and just see. You said that's KIWI?
Kiwi, yeah. Mm-hmm. Kiwi SDR.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of got started figuring out if I could transmit and receive. The other thing is you could learn your call sign in CW, and then and then you could transmit that down on a different band.
Oh yeah, like my daughter got one of these when she wanted to learn CW, so I was like, you'll learn it.
I forgot everything.
You forgot everything already?
And you relearn. A future YL. Cool. Great.
I'll give it a try again and see what we can do. I just wasn't sure, like the carrier, the mic gain. I don't even know if
Oh, hi, Sandy.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
You're invisible.
Bobby told me to get on, so I'm on.
Okay, well, good to have you. You're invisible, though. Do I hear crickets behind you?
Your face sometimes, Sam. I've seen your picture on QRZ. I think you're like baby Natalie. Aren't you a redhead yourself?
Well, I'm a summer blonde now. My hair's bleaching out very quickly, so.
That's all right.
But tonight I'm Herman Munster.
I know, that's your avatar for the day. I like the cat with the keyboard. That was a nice avatar.
Yeah, that
Hey.
keyboard cat.
Hey, I'm going to cut loose there, guys. So in 2 weeks, we'll just go RF on EchoLink only, right?
Yes. We're going to...
By the way,
yes.
Jason, tell you and Tina congratulations. Blessed anniversary.
Thank you. I'm shopping for some leather because that supposedly is 9 years.
Wait a minute now. I'm on. Where's Bobby Lee?
I need to look. I'm 10 years the week after.
Oh man, 10's a big deal. I don't know what you get at 10.
Every day's a big deal, Jason.
Ah.
Hey, Nick, you and Kayla have a blessed anniversary in a couple weeks.
Thanks, Michael.
Great. I'm going to cut loose, guys. 73s. I'll have yourself a great night, Sandy. And Bobby Lee. See you around later. Guys, everybody. Good night, 73s.
Good night.
Yeah, Michael.
There he
Michael,
is.
you're leaving, Michael?
Hey, you take care.
Mikey. Bye, Mikey.
Take care, Bobby Lee.
Hey, it's good to see you, brother. Wish you well. God
Hey,
bless you,
take
man.
care. Your mom, too. Okay, God bless you. Okay. Peace.
So I just searched up that Sony radio.
You don't
And
like
found,
it?
I found this. It has single sideband, which is good. I found the same kit for like $60.
Hey, I know, but I'm saying the point of the matter is I paid $35.
But it
So
arrives
I'm-
August 10th,
I'm still ahead of you.
so you have to wait.
I am not getting beat up by you anymore, Bioeno.
Yeah, you got to watch Ryan. Ryan will dish it out.
Proficient.
I got so much mad respect for this kid and Brian as well. They're really two of my most favorite operators because I'm like, look at Brian taking over his grandfather's suffix, right? He takes it, I'm like, it's going to take me to die before I get my kid on ham radio?
He had me talking before, but yeah, it took him, I guess, passing to actually get my license. But
Brian, you and Ryan, you guys are just great contributions to the hobby, and it tickles me to hear your intellect. And honestly, I mean, at such a young age, you are such a powerful influence to those around you, just because you're so open and you're so willing to share what's right on your shoulder, full face value, no BS. And at such a young age, bro, you really impressed me. And Ryan as well. I listened to you guys talk about your interests and in the hobby, and I just think it's fantastic. So I couldn't say more. I'm not sitting here trying to blow up your bubble, but you guys are really phenomenal individuals at such a young age, with such a wealth of enormous knowledge and energy as well. I see you guys doing great things in your life, and really makes me curious as to what you're going to do. I know, Brian, I think you were talking about being a policeman, going out in law enforcement. I think you'd been chasing that for a while. And I'll tell you what, my father was a military cop. He fought for our country for over 40 years. And I wear a blue stripe everywhere I go, traditionally, just to honor those that keep our freedom and our communities safe. And so that's it, my brother. So, man, you just keep on keeping on, you guys, and your young energy. You guys are going to change the world. We're relying on you because we're in some heat right now, and it's going to be people like you that make some of the best changes and some of the greatest influences. So, right behind you, brother.
Yeah, the OMs in Congress aren't doing that great these days, huh?
Man, I'm telling you.
Unfortunately.
But these kids are really something special, in my opinion. Again, I'm not trying to boost egos. I'm just kind of reflecting on something I see out there that's dear to the hobby at such a young age with these guys. Are you kidding me? You guys rock. Seriously.
Even
this is
Ryan.
Kool-Aid.
Uh-huh. And Nick, are you shaking babies? Don't be shaking babies over here. So I just want to remind everyone that's still out there watching. Let me flip the YouTube here. Next week we'll be over here, Northwest Ham Shack. He has 79 subs. Come on, man. We got to get this guy over 100. Over 100. And I'm looking forward to your next produced video. Although I can't talk because I've been so busy. I haven't really put out a produced video either. I've got stuff from field day. I got stuff from other camping trips, and Bobby. I want to go with Bobby Lee still. I have not forgot about you.
Oh, bro, you're busy, man.
But Nick, I want to see something. Come on, Nick, give us a shack tour or something.
I'll do something. I'll figure something out. Maybe how to make my camera not blur out every 5 seconds.
And your microphone closer to your mouth.
I had to keep it away from the kid.
Oh, I know. They got those little hands. They just want to grab everything.
And I turned the gain way down on it, so that's probably better.
There you go.
But yeah, I've got a couple. I've completely like redone my shack. I think I have maybe a little bit of an obsessive problem with that, where I constantly want to rearrange and redo stuff and move things around, and I'm always putting up a different antenna. Like yesterday, I hung me and Kevin were talking about so I'm in an HOA, and hopefully nobody from my HOA has landed upon this, because I'm not even supposed to have an antenna, right? And I've already got one that I'm sure has to have raised somebody's eyebrow at some point, because it's the tip of it is 45 feet in the air. I mean, it's massive. It's a huge, it's a Comet GP9. And so I figured that with my HF antenna, I have to be careful on how I'm going to put this up to not make everybody really mad, because they can look really tacky if they're not done right. And so I've got a 20 gauge magnet wire strung across the roof of my house and then to the back end of my lot, and I got it all strategically placed where not very many houses can see it and stuff.
Wow.
And and the Nano VNA made a huge difference with that, because instead of going back trying to hook up an inline meter, test it by transmitting, which is bad for your radio anyway, I literally just hooked this thing up, set it down, and went and trimmed one end, trimmed the other end, and watched it. Trimmed one end, trimmed the other end, until I had it right where I wanted it as far as resonant on 80 meters. And so my next step is 40 meter legs, and then 20 meter legs, and so forth, until I've conquered the universe, and then I'll be done.
Nice. That's brutal. You're in an HOA. You must really love your wife.
We're gonna buy a house soon.
Okay. So it's just temporary.
Yeah, it's temporary. We sold our house when we moved down to California, and then we didn't buy down there because we knew we were eventually going to come back to our home area, and so now we're looking again, and we'll eventually buy a house here.
Good deal. Well, I hope you can find something. You can plant a nice antenna farm.
Yeah.
I'm playing around with my camera, as he was saying. I'm trying to see if I can get this thing to come out here, and but I'm afraid. I'm trying to do it so I don't expose things I don't want kids to see.
Bobby, all we can see is some kind of Blair Witch project going on.
Well, I'm trying to get it so you could see the shack, and it's I don't know if my camera it looks blurry to me.
Yeah, it's it's not auto-focusing, huh?
I don't think it is. I'm wiping the lens right now. Is it a fingerprint? Let's see. Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, it's not. Doesn't seem like it's auto-focusing, huh? That's a bummer. I don't know why it's not doing that, but I tried. I thought maybe I could do a little pan with this thing, and
who makes your camera?
Huh?
Who makes your camera?
I don't know. I got it at the flea market for it's Cisco.
Okay,
I think my buddy gave it to me for $10.
I wonder if there's some kind of software.
Is it? Now it looks really horrible. Maybe I shouldn't have moved it.
Oh,
is there
it could be you could just say you have a special filter on.
I don't know. Now it looks horrible. It looks all blurry.
Yeah. Sometimes
Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to do that.
Sometimes there's some software. You could go, if it's Cisco or Logitech, you go on their website, find your camera, get some software. It'll give you some sliders, and that'll give you the ability to focus or lighting or, kind of like that a little bit.
You know what I do have is I have all the videos that I compiled for the 3B box.
Yeah, I need to get those.
And I've got them all now. I somehow got them from my phone onto the computer. I did something through
nice.
I don't know what these things are, but I'm just
just can't think of the name of it. But nonetheless, all I need is some kind of, like I was trying the programs in Windows 10 but I can't seem to figure out how to get those videos put, there's like 9 short videos and I'm just trying to turn it into one. But so far I haven't gotten there, but I know you're so busy, bro, and I'm trying to put it together just because I think people will really enjoy it. Plus they'll probably laugh at me a little bit. That'll be fun too.
All right, so I'm gonna say this, and hopefully everyone will keep me to it. Next week, one day after work, next week I'm gonna try to swing by your place.
I won't hold you to it. You're a family man, bro, and I got mad respect for your hard work and your dedication to your family. And my God, you too, bro. What an inspiration is your dedication to ham radio.
Thanks, man. I need to retire. This job is sucking the life out of me.
Oh, dude, you're killing it though. But I don't know how the hell you're doing it, working as hard as you do, and maintaining, supporting, and raising your family and ham radio. What are you thinking, bro?
A lot of cocaine. No, drugs are bad, kids. Yeah, I know. I get up at 4 and it's 9 after
Lord.
9. So coffee.
I usually go to bed at 4.
A lot of coffee. Thank God that's not a drug. That's
Hey,
what I
Jason,
do.
do you ever, when you're just driving around, do you ever find yourself staring for antennas, just looking for different antennas that are hanging out?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I mean, that's the first thing that occurred to me starting to study, looking at the hobby, is I started analyzing. I mean, I'm always looking at all sorts of stuff. I have probably one of these ADD minds.
Right.
But yeah, very quickly I would always try to figure out what am I seeing, because even around your city they have different boxes, whether it's for some kind of a sprinkler system or a farmer's field, or there's all sorts of different antennas you'll see, verticals, Yagis, and I'm always wondering, what frequency is that for? What frequency is that for? And in the beginning it was a lot harder, but now I have a pretty good understanding.
I have this, so on my route to work, which is a pretty short commute, I drive by this place. It's right on a lake, right? And when I pass it, there's this. It's a 60-foot tower with a 2-meter, probably 10-element directional antenna, and then on top of that is a little 2-meter 10-element directional antenna. So it's a big setup, right? And I've been watching this thing ever since I got up here, and I keep looking at it, and the tower's never turned. It's got a rotor on it, and it's never moved, right? And which was just curious to me that it would never be in a different position. And so I drove by it a few days ago, and there was a for sale sign on the house.
Oh.
And I'm like, I wonder what's going on. And I was told by some person that it was like a club or something, and I tried to look it up and couldn't find it. And so finally I just got the nerve. I just went up and knocked on the door today on my way home. I was like, I got to find out what this is all about. Like, is he getting rid of all this stuff, or is this a ham radio operator that's been, because it's a really old house. And I was like, maybe he's got like the coolest story I've ever heard in my life, and I just had this urge to go knock on the door, and nobody answered. So I just left a note. I was like, hey, this is my name and call sign. Just curious, what's the story? Are you moving? Are you part of a club, or what's going on? And so maybe he'll get back to me at some point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, QRZ's a dangerous thing. I've actually sent a few emails to people with large antennas in their backyard within like a bike ride around, so you're riding a bike, family, and you start noticing different, Yagis, typically towers, and you just need the street address on QRZ. You can find out the name and the ham, and then if they have an email. And so yeah, I've shot a few emails and got some back. Some it just, I never got anything back. And yeah, you often wonder, what's this beautiful setup doing in your backyard? What's the story? Do you use it? Are you active?
Yeah. I mean, that guy might be a genius, and I just have to know who he is.
Yeah, I mean, it could be the singer from was it the Joe Walsh? It could be Joe Walsh, right? He's a ham.
Yeah.
I want to say the drummer, but unfortunately Neil Peart passed away. But he was a BMW rider, not a ham radio operator. I'm also a BMW rider. That's why that's relevant. Well, hey, Chuck, you're just in time to say goodbye.
I know. I was trying to hook up my camera and see if I could get it to work tonight, but I don't know if I actually got it or not.
Yeah, you don't look half bad. The microphone, it sounds a little harsh. Is that just probably from your laptop or computer?
Yeah, it's just my laptop.
Yeah,
I don't think I'm actually on my camera, though.
Well, point to whatever you think you're on. You know what I mean, with your big fat finger?
It says USB device, so...
Yeah, we're seeing a clean picture from you. No.
Okay, they didn't change anything.
Yeah.
Good.
Everyone's...
I was trying to figure out how to turn the screen off, all the settings on the camera, you know?
Sure.
Because I'm new. I'm new at anything with computers, pretty much.
Yeah, live stream is a whole nother animal. It's one thing to make videos, but to pull this off is another hobby.
Yeah.
The first time I was new at computers, that ended up being in the shooting range.
Heck yeah. Well, hey, does anyone have anything to share or final thoughts? I'm gonna head to bed, and next week we want to make sure that we go over here. If you're looking on YouTube, Northwest Ham Shack, it'll take place on the repeater, and then over there on that YouTube.
I just had a question for Bobby.
Yeah, Brian.
Granted, you're a collector and you collect all these different handhelds and shortwave radios.
Order.
Porter, okay, we'll use that. I was curious if you had any, just for fun, any spirit boxes.
Any what boxes?
The people refer to them as spirit boxes, where it's basically like a broken shortwave radio that's constantly scanning. And you'll see on like the TV shows, like the Ghost Adventures, you'll hear they're what do they call them? EVPs or something? Is that what they call them?
Okay. So, in relation to what I think you're talking about, and I've seen stuff like this too. You know, where you're connecting with like outer spirits. You're picking up things electronically through electronic devices, hearing things, connecting things of that nature. Is that
basically?
Well, no, you're just receiving, like, since it's scanning really fast, you're just receiving AM broadcasts, like FM or AM broadcast stations really, really quickly. So it says like one word every time it scans. That's basically how those work.
Okay. Now, I've been drinking adult Kool-Aid, and it just has me wondering, am I even on the right page? Did I just come out of left field, or are we...
I was just wondering if you had any, or collected any for fun, since you...
All right.
Or you could hack them up yourself.
So I just, I Googled it. This is new to me. What is a spirit box? I'm showing pictures here on YouTube.
Me too. This is news.
And so what essentially they have is, some different shortwave radios. I'm trying to figure out what the megahertz is, but yeah, what Brian was saying is it just moves
7.6.2.
Yeah, it moves around on different frequencies, and you're listening for the paranormal.
There you go. Yes, and I'll tell you, it's very interesting because I too have watched some really interesting things, or maybe TV shows or what have you, that I've watched certain electronic devices that pick up on things. Now, as far as the spirit box, quote unquote, no, I mean, I don't, but I have been intrigued by hobbyists picking up on what they perceive as paranormal activity on modern day electronic devices that they're utilizing to, ghost hunters, if you call them, or things of that nature. I've actually been a little inspired by the equipment that they've used. So it's interesting that you asked me that. Unfortunately, the answer is no, with 140 plus radios in my collection. But needless to say, I have probably shared the same curiosity as you as to some of the devices that I've seen that, in my opinion, have reflected of actually receiving certain types of energies, and that they've been able to pick up on when they come and go. I've seen really strange footage
UFOs that they refer to, and I see things move, and boom, they shoot at a 90-degree angle at a gazillion miles an hour. But
Nick, I think you found your next week's topic.
I know. I was just thinking the same thing. We
go.
totally need to have an anti-net topic on
Spirit Box.
Normal activity on ham radio. I love it.
Whoa.
You're welcome.
That's very appropriate for your channel, along with the other things that are there.
There's some other hidden content that we don't want to disclose. I wish there was a way. I should just recreate just a blip of that, and that way you can relive it.
Who, me?
Yeah,
No, we're good there.
And then I'll just restream it. I'll repost it once a week, and then I'll be a weekly YouTuber.
well,
that is
Oh, go ahead.
That would be a really cool topic to discuss, just to see. I mean, some people might not be interested in it, but they don't have to listen if they don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of interesting to understand or learn. I mean, I've actually heard Rodney a few times talk about different things he's heard, spinning the dial kind of thing. It's all possible. I don't know.
Yeah. And even not just just necessarily, I guess, paranormal stuff, but just things that are kind of out of the box. Like a good example is if I tune in 440, if I tune up to 70 centimeters, and then I go just past the amateur radio band, I forget what frequency it's on, but I get a rebroadcast of an AM country music station. A beautiful signal. I have no idea if somebody's rebroadcasting it or if they're set up to broadcast it on that frequency or what, but just interesting little things that you get when you're just I find myself just sometimes scrolling all the way down through AM and all kinds of different frequencies, and sometimes you hear stuff you just don't quite understand.
Or the Russians.
Yeah.
No.
Is that why you were looking at that hat on Amazon earlier?
Yeah, I don't know what was going on. Yeah, those are the two questions I get asked by people that don't know anything about, ham radio. Is can you hear the Russians? Or have you ever heard Alien? What would an alien sound like?
Yeah.
I
fax
talk to
machine?
Russians all the time.
Yeah.
I think I might go back out to the Opera House and activate POTA again.
Oh, nice.
I got a lot of people last time that asked me, "Oh, what are you doing?" So I think next time I'll just say I'm talking to aliens. And I'll switch down over to FT8.
Or spirits, you're contacting spirits, and you can say, "Hey, do you have any dead family or friend you'd like to say hello to?" Along with the spirit box.
Well, since you're trying to close it down, save the digital stuff for later, because I've been diving deep into digital since our QRM problem on the 3.3, and I've been having so much fun on P25, man, and I've been really got so intimate with all these hotspots now. Really forced myself to dive in, and I found so many things that people are tripping over. So really want to think about, I think I was telling you that Chris and I wanted to put together some kind of a hotspot presentation, because he's got the he's got the Open Spot 3.
Yeah.
I've got the original Shark RF.
That'd be great.
I've got the original Zoom Spot, the Zoom Spot MMDVM, and the TGIF, the new TGIF hotspot with the 3.5-inch touchscreen. And so kind of starting from grassroots all the way up to modern technology and everything in between, thought that would be kind of cool. And I just want to see if anybody else is playing in the digital world as well. So we'll save that for another time, unless anybody raises their hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got the Pi Zero and MMDVM. I just put it together right when the net started. I was trying to configure it. I was like, oh.
No, Bobby, that sounds amazing, and we should get you on the books for mid to late August.
Yeah, let's do it. And because I think I have, through my experience now, a wealth of information, because where I was when I had 2 dead hotspots, and getting the new TGIF hotspot, getting that fired up, really inspired me, because, Jason, I'm kind of like you. I can't have something sitting in front of me that is not functioning.
Yeah, you want to know.
You know, and it drove me crazy. So I learned how to, get all of the programming onto your SD card. But what I also learned is these hotspots typically don't come with the WPA comp file that enables you to configure your Wi-Fi setup. And it's something that you typically have to drop and drag most scenarios, which they don't tell you. And so there's a lot of good things. So, bro, if you're getting into trouble with hooking up your hotspot, hit me up, KD6KWV. I'm live on QRZ. You can send me an email or whatever. If you find any problems, I'll help you get through it because I walked through it all.
All right. Well, I like it. We're going to get Chris to get you on the books.
Another thing real quick just to throw in there in regards to digital. We have a gentleman who's also a YouTuber who has been on a couple of our anti-nets, and he's from the UK. It's Chris, 2E0, or what is it? KE0UKH, I think it is. I'm going to have that wrong, but his YouTube channel
is 2E0.
Yeah, 2E0UKH. And he's digital analog ham, and he is an awesome guy, and he's constantly posting videos. And he has a wealth of knowledge in the digital realm as well. So if anybody has questions and stuff, I would encourage them to subscribe to his channel. And he's super active at getting people to participate in the things that he does. So a little bit different time zone, but a great guy to get to know. So
yeah, he did a live stream today.
Yeah,
actually. So I got a question before you guys go.
Yeah.
So next month, I don't remember. About a month from now, I'm supposed to go to Washington to do a POTA with the Ham Radio Adventure Club. I don't know if you guys have heard of that. It basically came from the one we did at Mount Pacifico.
Okay.
A lot of the guys are from there, and then I don't know who the other guys are. I haven't met some of the people, but they want to do a FoxNet.
Oh.
And they're asking about maybe each person bringing like a transmitter. I have no idea. I've never done a FoxNet. But do you guys have any access to any kind of a transmitter or anything like that? Or do any of you want to maybe participate? They're looking for at least one more operator.
Where is it going to be in Washington?
It's on a peninsula, it's almost like an island on the coast. It's can't remember the name of it right now, but they're going to do at least 6 parks and do a round robin. So you'll make contacts with each park. So you have half of your contacts already. And supposedly they think they're going to do it in an hour. The POTAs I've done on the West Coast are not like when you watch KM8 R&D or whatever his name, Mike, where he's surrounded by states, because we have nothing to the west basically other than Hawaii or Japan, which they don't really participate that I've noticed. But I can get you the info.
Yeah. Where are you? What state are you in?
I'm just in Pinole. I'm just below Vacaville here.
Oh, okay. And you're coming up to Washington. Yeah, I'd like to know the dates of that, because I might be interested in participating in that.
You're up there, right?
Yeah, I'm in Everett, which I'm just across the water from the peninsula. I can take a ferry and be on the peninsula in 45 minutes.
Okay, I was going to see if I could look at it, but I don't have any idea how to make a transmitter or. I watched a few things today, but
I'm right there with you as far as being a novice in that category. But I do know that there are actually fairly inexpensive box hunting transmitters that you can purchase online, which are they're almost like it's like a beacon that you can hide, and then you use your radio with some sort of directional antenna to try to search out that signal. Other people make them out of radios and stuff, and depending on what their needs are, I might be able to contribute some equipment. I just don't know what exactly they need, but I'm happy to try to research whatever I could do to help, or at least maybe just participate and maybe I'll learn something too. So
yeah.
Okay. Do you know where Ocean Park Peninsula is?
No, but I'm sure I can find it. Google will help me.
Yes. So that's where it's going to be, that area.
Okay.
The dates are September 11th through the 13th.
Bobby, what
Ocean
was your question, Bobby, or comment?
Oh, well, it's just like I am such the fox hunting guru.
Oh.
It was one of the things that my old club specialized in, and we did that specifically because of the problem we have today. And I have been introduced to so many different techniques and so many different homemade Dopplers, and some very unique equipment that even back in the old analog days just blew me away. This guy had it's probably something similar, to this piece of plastic right here, where this guy literally had a circumference of LEDs that went around here. Okay, and they had different colors, depending on the signal strength. So it would get all the way up here, it's green, it get down here, red. It would tell you how close you were. And the cool thing about fox hunting, just on the simplest aspect, just using your HT with no equipment. It's having two different antennas, one antenna that's big, one antenna that's like the miracle baby, a little 1-inch antenna or something homemade that basically you screw in just to act as an attenuator.
Right.
And you would literally, I don't know if you can see this or not, but you would literally use yourself like a radar dish, and you would hold your arm straight out with your radio in front of you, and you would use your body as a shield. And with an attenuator, if you did a 360-degree rotation with the radio, you would be able to find with that little attenuator without any, and of course it depends on what kind of wattage and what's hidden, but I'll tell you, I was taught how to find transmitters, and when we went on a fox hunt, I was always the first person to beat everybody just with simple techniques, and I did a little jogging and chasing. Everybody else is walking around because I wanted to find it before everybody else. But with the beams, the technology with the beams and being able to do your direction finding is super trick. And fox hunting, man, I'll tell you, if I were not in the situation that I am in, I guarantee you, I'm looking right now, I would eliminate the QRM problem on 3.3 solely by myself. But that being said, I can't. I'm taking care of my mom, so it's up to you, bad arses, to take care of that. But fox hunting is one of the greatest parts about our hobby, because once you learn that science, you're going to be able to contribute to help reducing or eliminating the problems that are on your favorite repeater, or if you've got some QRM somewhere that's creating any kind of mayhem. It could be on your TV, it could be on any devices at home. These type of techniques will teach you how to track that stuff down, and it is so much fun because you really get to utilize the knowledge that you've gained for all these years in a whole total different fashion. And it really challenges you. So you guys got a fox hunt. Boy, I wish you could find something out here in Concord, California.
Well, that sounds like a great topic. I threw that in our Discord for future topics and ideas, so we can put a pin in it, and we'll come back to that. Maybe we'll have you on again, Bobby. You're such a wealth of knowledge. You've been in this hobby for a long time, and it's great to hear stories and learn exactly what you did. But it's 9:30. Us hams, we'll talk till midnight, won't we? So yes. I'm gonna hang this up. But some people are still alive and well in our chat. I gotta read this aloud. So this is from Good Looking Honky, YouTuber here. It says, "Ham, Peter North here, old adult film store." What? This guy. And so I don't know why he threw that out there, but anyways, I remember the name Peter North. Quite funny. But he's asking us, do we remember the old potato radio? And I've only ever heard of it. I've not ever seen it or tried it. But yeah, picking up some. You did. Okay, Bobby knows about the potato radio. Oh,
They work.
yeah. Well, shoot. I need to put that in my comments. Potato
They
radio.
work.
We'll talk about that. Tried it on.
We've all got our homework now.
This guy's killing me. Good looking hunky, if you're for real. That's crazy. All right. Well, guys, hey, I need
gotta
to.
look at these. What is he reading?
Okay.
I got my,
You need, you need to have YouTube up, and people are,
oh no, I got
dropping
YouTube up.
comments.
I had it expanded to full screen.
Oh, okay.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Nick, are you good on the?
Okay, I'm
for your
seeing you.
email?
Yeah, Chuck, I am.
Okay, I'll send you an email.
Awesome.
He said he's used the potato radio in a few different sets he's been on.
Oh no!
This is now turning into the late night show.
I hope he didn't put the potato radio.
Oh.
No.
If I'm looking at the right park there, Chuck, I think it's probably about 3 hours from me south, which is not too bad. I could probably
Changing the subject.
I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, there's a bunch of parks.
I'm not. I'm
I'll
sorry.
send you everything.
I'm changing the subject.
I know. He just shared. I think I don't know what he shared, but I don't want to show it. I'm scared. All right, guys. This is where we wave goodnight. Thank you, everyone, for watching. 7-3. We'll be back here next week. It'll be Noah Nick's channel. And, of course, Whiskey 6 VVR is the repeater. So check that out. 7-3. All right. All right, guys. Good night.
7-3.
Night, guys.
Later, skaters.
Good night.